Welcome to the Operation Game Night podcast. Back and better than ever. Joining me for the first time in a long time is Vic from the Games EMoss podcast. How you doing, Vic?
Hey, how's it going? It's like the first time this year, huh?
I know.
The first time this year. It's been a year since we talked.
What's the cutoff for Happy New Year's?
I want to say March.
Really?
March time.
Wow.
I like to give some leeway. I like to be generous when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Larry David says 2 weeks and then you're done.
2 weeks, man. Oh man. Well, I guess he can. Curb his enthusiasm. I guess I don't know.
That's right. Well, Vic, thank you for joining us. I am without co-host today, so you were just promoted, to co-host. Welcome.
What an honor this is! Wow, Clay, and yeah. I mean, what's going on with Clay and Jared, man? Like,
they've been MIA. It's okay. Life gets busy.
No, true.
It is what it is. But thank you for filling in, and I really want to talk to you because you did something crazy. You did something that no sane person would do, and you sat down and you played an entire game of Twilight Imperium. Tell me about Twilight Imperium, my friend.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Twilight Imperium. Well, I will preface that this is about my fourth time playing this game. Actually,
Okay.
I've played it fully twice. Both times took about 10 hours to play. The other 2 times, my esteemed friends were like, "I'm tired. I don't want to play this game anymore. We're done." Yep. And I was like, "We're barely halfway through the game." They're like, "Yeah, we don't want to play this game." So I was like, "Okay, whatever. I guess we're done." And so, Twilight Imperium. Oh my goodness, where to start with this game? Okay, if you like big epic space battles, space sagas, if you are a fan of Star Wars, you are the Star Wars in this game. Literally, you have different factions fighting for the what we call the middle planet. You can say, or it's called Mecatol Rex. You're fighting for this planet because you want to be the emperor of the galaxy. And so we're fighting to get control of this area. Whoever controls this area pretty much controls a lot of the board, a lot of resources. You get a lot of points when you're controlling this area. So everyone's fighting for the control for that, but you also have your own strategies when you're playing this game. You're also trying to win points via victory points. The game plays up to, if I'm correct, up to 15 points. First to 15 wins. Okay. I might be wrong. I might be quoting you wrong. But 15
like hard to come by. You're not scoring 150 points.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. 15 points, but this is 15 points that will take you a long time to get because everyone's up trying to get those objectives. Everyone's trying to gather as much resources. It is truly a 4X game. This is such a game, I would say, not for the faint of heart. I am not introducing this game to someone who's just barely played Catan. This is a game that even intermediate board gamers, I would try to veer off from until you've developed more of your repertoire of gaming. When you've gotten more familiar with, like, maybe playing a couple sessions of Nemesis, maybe playing a couple sessions of Zombicide, maybe getting used to more miniatures, and then maybe playing a lot more 4X games, Civolution, some of those type of other games. Okay. Yes, I would say it's a fun game. It's literally one of my favorite games to play. It's like Betrayal and this.
My language. I love it.
Yes, like it's such a fun game. Tons of replayability. You can always choose. There's so many factions. Even the base game has so many different factions you can choose. Each of them have its own special abilities, its own special backstory. So you can get into the lore, immerse yourself into this game a lot. And you just are duking it out, or you're not. You could be playing peacefully and just kind of minding your own business over here and secretly go for the win. So yes, it is a long game. If you are new to this game and you're playing it, you're looking about 10 to 12 hours of playing this game if you are committed to the game. Wow. Even advanced players, players that are dedicated, can narrow it down to maybe 8 hours. But you're looking, I think the safe point is like 10 hours for sure. If like everyone knows what they're doing, it's like 10 hours for sure. Yeah, man, it's a game that you have to clear out your schedule for, and you're going to be like, hey, we're here for all day. You're clocking into your shift. and you're ready to get to work, and you'll
Okay.
have your 10-minute breaks and your mandated 30-minute lunches and stuff.
On this most recent playthrough, how many people did you play with?
We played with 6. If I'm correct. Yes, 6 players. I think it plays up to 8. If I'm correct.
I think it says 3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Recommended at 6.
Yes, 3 to 6 players. 8 players if you have the Prophecy of Kings expansion and the Thunder's Edge expansion. Okay. It adds 2 more players because it expands the map even bigger. Oh, great. Which it's wild. But yeah, 6 players is probably the best way to play it. 3 players, I tried the 3-player count. It's fun. The map is definitely smaller, and I think if you really want to get to this game and not like spend so much time on it, 3 players, the game will go by a little bit quicker because just got, you're going kind of going around really quick. So there's that. But 6 players is where the game shines for sure. It'll shine, and you'll have the most fun with it. And again, I said this game is like a 4X game, so you have everything. You have from resource management. I don't want to say worker placement, but like maybe like you're building your armies, kind of like RTS. Yeah. Like if you're familiar to with Age of Empires and all those types of fun games. Yeah, this game's right up your alley. You're building your armies, you're building your resource, you're building your synergy of your race, but also it implements like a political kind of aspect to the game, where I believe for the first player that reaches Mecatol Rex, which is the middle, unlocks the agenda phase, meaning that after every round, there's an agenda phase where you're going to draw these cards, which are directives or laws, and whoever is the speaker gets to read out the laws or the directive, and everyone around the table has to decide if you're for the law or against the law. An example would be when I was playing, when I had my session about a couple weeks ago. One of the laws was like, this round, everyone loses all their fleet, and it can only have one fleet per solar system, or everyone loses a token, your little command tokens. Everyone loses 2 command tokens, but keeps your fleet amount count. Okay. So, and it goes around the table, and if you have more planets, you have more influence, pretty much. Yeah. And you can spend your influence saying, I'm spending 4 influence for yes on this law. The next person next to you could go, I'm spending 8 influence against this law, and we count up the influences, and the higher influence either goes for it or goes against it. Yeah. There's also debate on scheming. You can or bribery. You can say, Travis, you're all for the law, but I'm against it, and I can go, Travis, listen, I have 4 trade goods. I will give you 4 trade goods if you spend your influence on negative on this one. And so you have a choice, and you have to decide yes or no. Another player could be like, no, I will give you 5 trade goods if you say yes to this, or I will give you this solar system. I will step away from the solar system and let you come in if you agree. So everyone's kind of fighting each other on yes or no, whatever they want to agree with. And that's, I believe, where the game shines a lot too, because everyone's just yelling at each other and being political about it. Yeah.
Hard negotiations encouraged.
Yes, big time. Yes, hard negotiations encouraged. Also encouraged to have a timer, because you can spend hours and hours just arguing over one direction, and it could be like I think the first round that we played, we spent 3 hours on that first round. Because we were just arguing about each other, like, no, I'll give you this, and like the people who were undecisive were still thinking, pondering, should I agree, should I not agree? Have a timer, guys. Have maybe say 3 minutes to just deliberate, and then come down with your decision. But yeah, this man, I mean, I can rave about this game. This is a game that I mean, it's a beautiful game, for sure. Beautiful game. It's a game that if I play once, I'm done for the month. I'll play that game. Like I need to recuperate. I need to like refresh my mind, because I went home that night and I was just like, my brain is so fried. Like it was so fried. And usually when it comes to these games, it's easy where maybe once somebody like pulls out ahead and it's like way ahead, and you get to the end game and you're just like, you know what, you won, bro. Like it's fine. There's no. This game, it came down to the wire. We were all neck and neck coming down, and so it was getting heated. It literally came down to one decision, and this player was able to use their gab of their silver tongue to convince us all to do this one way of this directive. I don't know how he did it, but he did it, and we all weren't thinking and it was late also, so we're probably fried. But we weren't
Yeah.
thinking as much, and he was able to convince us to go this way on this law that caused him to automatically get the winning 2 points, and no matter what you tried to do, you lost. You're losing, and we're just like, why did we give this guy? Why did we listen to him? He got in our heads way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
man, like go ahead.
Long game,
Mhm.
game of endurance, mental endurance more than anything.
Yes.
Asymmetric factions
Mhm.
competing for resources across the galaxy, all
Mhm.
competing for the main planet in the center, something Rex.
Mhm.
Check, got it. Then
Mhm.
you start the negotiation phase.
Mhm.
So I assume after that negotiation phase ends, that next round is like you're kind of starting from scratch again, or is it like pull back your ships? The
Mhm.
person that owns the planet in the middle starts in the middle again. Like, what does that transition between phases look like?
Yeah. So after the agenda phase ends, pretty much, I mean, anything that you have on your board, it's there. So you're continuing from where you are. The thing that changes is that you have, they're called your strategy tokens or strategy. I would say strategy tokens. They're like these little like hexagonal tokens. I should have brought the board up, but it's like at the bottom of my shelf, and I don't want to pull it out. And it's a lot of components. But you have like these strategy tokens that you choose at the beginning of the round, starting with whoever the speaker is. They get to go choose, and I believe there are 7 strategies. So you have leadership, you have diplomacy, you have construction, you have technology, all these things, and each of those strategies give you actions you can do. For instance, if you have leadership, you get 3 tokens that you can use to place on your board to either upgrade your fleet a limit count, and put in for your strategic. They're also called strategic tokens as well. Strategic tokens meaning that it gives you more turns on a round to do things, or you could set it down on influence. I think they call it influence. I'm getting these names wrong. I'm sorry, guys, if I get the name wrong. But yeah, it's like influence or strategy. I might be getting those mixed up. But you set those to like in case you want to spend them on someone else's turn to do some actions as well. And so you're getting those little tokens that pretty much dictate what you're going to do for that round. What your tactic is for that round. Warfare is more of like is based on moving ships around areas and like negating like the whole. Whenever you place a token down on a planet, it kind of acts like as like a magnet. So you place a token down, and you're gonna say, "I'm bringing these ships in here to this system," and they're locked in for that round. So no ships can go in, no ships can go out. They're locked in for that round. They can't be activated again. Warfare is like you negate that. You can move ships out as well if you want, because you're trying to, you have like technology. I mean, you want to upgrade resources. You want to spend resources to upgrade your ships. You want to upgrade your infantry. You want to upgrade maybe some of your upgrade your ships, your infantry. That's pretty much all you can upgrade, and work towards getting the War Suns, which are pretty much, guys, they're Death Stars. Everyone's getting Death Stars in this game. Yeah, so you get War Suns, and so you have a lot of options when you're choosing the token. So each round to dictate what you're choosing, what's your tactic for that round. If you're the speaker, again, you get first round dibs to choose, and then it'll go clockwise from there. And then that'll also dictate your turn order. So, like for instance, leadership is number 1. So whenever the round starts, leadership goes first. Lastly, I believe it's like warfare or diplomacy. It's 1 to 7. So whoever gets a 7 tile, you're going last. And then it'll skip around. So like if 2 is not around, then we'll go to 3. If 3 is not around, we'll go 4, and we just keep going around till everyone's gone. A turn order can take a while because you keep going until everyone's passed, and you have a lot of actions you have to do on your turn. You have a whole list of actions you can do, but you're going to need to do one of those per turn. So your strategy tokens is one of those actions, and then you have these other actions that you can use to spend tokens. So moving ships is not part of the strategy token. That's everyone can move ships. You just got to use an action to do that. Building ships, again, that's another action. Again, once everyone says they're passed, then that's when the round ends, and we start the agenda phase, and then we keep going until the points are.
So you've talked. There's 2 objectives: capture the center planet, which is like kind of the round by round objective. Then you have the overarching goal that ends the game, which is score 15 victory points or whatever.
Correct.
Each of the factions has a different way to earn the victory points, like kind of in route, or is it
yes,
different?
No, so like each of the factions, pretty much what you're choosing is their like abilities. They each have abilities, but the scoring is done through public objective cards that you draw.
Okay.
So the first round you draw the level 1 objective cards that are worth 1 point, and they'll say, this round spend at least 10 trade goods. So you go, okay, or spend 10 trade goods. Keep spending them, or control 2 solar systems that are adjacent to Mecatol Rex. So they're kind of those objectives. So you're kind of looking at those objectives, and then when you achieve it, you place down your marker saying, "Hey, I achieved this goal," and then you just keep going, and then they don't get locked out. You just keep playing. But I mean, if you're still working on your the level 1 objectives, you're trying to just play catch up at this point.
Sure.
But everyone's trying to achieve those objectives, but the way you achieve them are different tactics. If you have a race that can travel really quickly, and there's an objective to hey, I control 2 solar systems. Okay, I'm going to use my race's ability to be able to kind of jump point everywhere you can go. But you also have to be cautious because everyone else is going for that objective too. So if you're in someone else's solar system, they're going to be fighting for that solar system to be like, hey, no, where I'm claiming this. Yeah. Controlling Mecatol Rex in the middle is not you get pretty much a victory point each round that you have control of that. So that's constant points going your way. So again, everyone's going to want to be taking over Mecatol Rex. So you're going to get that constant one victory point each round. So if you can hold it for 15 rounds, you can win the game, by holding. But and then it also has the most influence and the most resources that it gives you per round. So everyone wants to have that main center. But there's other planets you can get as well that have higher count. But Mecatol Rex is like the main one that you can get.
That's an interesting way to help drive player interaction, not just above the table negotiations between rounds, but getting people to try and occupy the same space on the board.
Yeah.
And you have these big sprawling universes, but if you have one that's really key to your success in the long run, you have to go after that and converge on that point. And I think that's really smart. What a cool design choice.
Yeah, I think it's genius. And it drives for a lot of combat. A lot of people are going to be fighting for that. You're going to be seeing all these ships just going into that area and just seeing epic space battles going off. And if you're a player that likes to play passive, you're just going to see off in the distance just explosions happening and everything, just people blowing up and stuff because they're just having an epic space battle while you're hiding in your little home planets or something like that.
What is your favorite faction to play as?
Oh man, that is a loaded question because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of factions, but my personal favorite that I've learned to love a lot is the Mecatol Coalition.
Okay.
Pretty much space pirates. They are space pirates. They and what's cool about the factions is if you flip the faction board on the back, it has this whole lore of their backstory of how they came to be and why they're doing this. Mecatol Coalition were once slaves, and then they rebelled against their slave owners, if I'm getting it correctly, and they decided, hey, we're going to be slaves no longer. Now we're going to rob everybody. Awesome. And so they have a fun little mechanic that I was utilizing to the T is that whenever you have anyone that's your neighbor, meaning that it's adjacent to your solar systems, any player, anytime any player trades or gains any goods, you get to steal 1 good from them.
Oh, nice.
So any neighbor, so it could be anyone that's around you. And so I had somebody that was next to me the whole time, and every time I'd be watching for them to do trades. Whenever I'd hear, hey, you want to do a trade? I'm like, oh yes, do that trade. Please do that trade so I can steal one of those goods from you. And you get to steal goods, or whenever they acquire goods, again, it's not just trading. It's whenever you get a card that gives you acquires goods. Yeah. Again, you get to steal goods from them as well. So you're pirates pretty much. So you're kind of a bully, a little bit of a bullying a lot of players. You don't have to steal from them, but you could negotiate and be like, hey, I won't steal from you this round if you let me go do this thing for my objective. So there's a lot of negotiating for sure within the game.
Talk to me about combat for a second. Lots of dice chucking, or is it resolve through cards? How do you resolve the combat?
Yeah, for sure. So the way combat plays is obviously you move whenever you activate your ships into someone else's solar system, you engage in combat. What you do is first you look at PDSs, which are called planetary defense systems.
Okay.
Those are automatic hits, so you're going to look at that, and if there's any planets that have it from a faction, they get 1 hit to the ships.
Okay.
And then after that, you have anti-barrage missiles, I believe. those are automatic hits. So once you get that out of the way, then you roll some dice. You're going to be rolling some dice, and you're going to be rolling to see how many hits they are. I believe you roll. I forgot the number. I think it was like three up to 3 dice.
Okay.
3 or 4 dice, I believe, and you just keep rolling, kind of like Risk. You just keep rolling.
Yeah.
And then depending on how many ships. So if I have 1 ship, then I'm trying to roll 1 dice. If I have 2 ships, 3, and if I have more than one ship, you just keep rolling 3 dice until it goes down. But all your ships pretty much have 1 health, unless you have like the big cruisers that have like sustained damage. Then that means when they get hit, you just flip it over. It means they're damaged. And then
that is more simple than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 1,000, flow chart just for combat. Yeah, that's great.
No, it's super simple. Like I said, a lot of this game is very intimidating, but when you get down to the core of it, it's super simple. Even the actions, everything is just really simple, and like the turn order goes really quick because it's like I do my action, all right, I'm done. Next, you do your action, you're done. Next, you just keep going. So combat again, super simple. You just gotta take into account like do you have any anti whatever, and then at the beginning of each combat, before you combat, you announce any of the factors. Do you want to retreat this round? If you say yes, you still go through combat, and if your ships survive the encounter, then you get to retreat and go somewhere else.
Okay.
And so but the combat's super simple. You just roll, and if it shows hits, it's a hit. If it's a miss, it's a miss. Yeah, super simple to play. And same thing with infantry. If you have infantry on planets, again, you just count how many of the infantry you have, you roll, and you just fight on the ground. Infantry is not the only thing that's the thing that bugs me about the infantry a little bit. I know it'd be cost efficient, but the infantry are just little flag tokens. They're not like unique little species characters. They're just little flag tokens. The thing that shines are your ships, because you get your ships. They look different. They're really cool, and then your flagship is like very unique to your player's race. So you get each one gets like its own special like flagship, which is pretty cool. But yeah, combat super simple, just rolling dice.
So back way up, first time you ever played this game, like how was it getting into it for the very first time?
Oh geez, man, this game I had to look up videos. I had to look up videos on how to play this game. Reading the rules helped out, but looking up videos was the best way to do it. A shout out to RTM Shay. He does a great job on explaining the video, but keeping you engaged, because he likes to do it like as a skit and kind of like a good theatrical way of explaining the game. So he did a good job. Shay, he was great. I was blessed to have him on the pod and talk to him about Twilight Imperium. So if you're curious to hear about that, you can hear about that. It was very intimidating for me, because when I opened the box, I was like, there are so many components to this game, so many cards, so many tokens, so many everything. How am I going to get this game on the board? I even tried setting it up on my table, and it was like I utilized every inch of that table. Like I could not have, like there could not fit any more like pieces ever anywhere else. I was like, how am I going to do this? I played it first time with some friends. We were supposed to start at like 1, but we ended up going to get some food, and like that was a journey in itself, because that's a whole long story. But we ended up getting back home like around 4. We started the game. I explained the rules. Teacher was like another hour and a half, and then we played the game, and we got to like maybe we were at 5 points. Like the leader was at 5 points, and it was already like almost hitting midnight, and we were just like, my friends are like, we gotta drive back home. I'm like, dude, I'm bummed. I am beat. Like, okay, well, maybe we'll play this game. So we took photos. And like, all right, we'll take photos. We'll get back to it. We never did. We never got back to it.
Of course not.
We never. We got busy, and it's just a complicated game to play. To set up actually. And so the first time was a bit of a rough one, because I was like, we were looking at the rule book, trying to do our turns. A buddy of mine was like, "Can I build chips?" I'm like, "No, you can't build chips now. You have to do this." And it's like, and then he'd be like, "Now can I build chips?" Like, "No, you've already activated your system. You can't build chips. You got to wait your next round." So he was getting frustrated about that. So, it was a bit of a tough one for sure.
Yeah, I imagine you kind of need somebody to like help Sherpa you through it. Like, there's so many games out there that like at face value, there's tons of little nuances, right? Root, Wonderland's War back here, like takes a little bit of finessing to get into. But like once you get into it, you understand the systems, you understand like the flow of the turns. It flies by so fast. But if you have somebody there that can Sherpa you through that and just be like, here, the first couple of rounds, like boom, 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 here's exactly what you do, like walk people through their decisions, explain like what they should be considering on the board. That stuff it goes such a long way into learning games this. So maybe you'll have to teach me this game someday.
I will gladly teach you this game, man. We can play it on Tabletop Simulator if you ever want to play on Tabletop Simulator. Okay. They have a pretty good mod for it for sure. I have it on there. It's really fun. I mean, nothing beats physical. But since we're like on the opposite sides of the country, I think TTS is a perfect way to play. You just let me know the day, bro. I'll clear out my whole day. We'll play a good round. We could get like a 3-player game going. I would recommend like a 4-player to 5-player for a first timer, just to kind of get a gist of like a little bit, and then maybe we could go 6-player later. But I mean, I'm super down. It's a fun game. Again, it's really fun. You get into it. If you get into it and get immersed and have some fun, yelling at her and trying to do agendas, it's a great game to play for sure. A game that I highly recommend to anyone that's like on the cusp of like, I've played all these intermediate games of what's next for me. It's like Twilight Imperium is like the goal. That and Eclipse, New Age of the Third Dawn. I think those games are like you're your pinnacle peak of your gaming, because like after I got done playing that game, I was like, everything else is like, this is any other board game is just easy for me to play, because it's just like it's the ultimate fun space saga. It's great. The expansions are there, tons of replayability. Again, you can always play as a different faction each time. There's clever ways to like play a game. If you're listening to this and you thought like I don't want to set this whole massive game up, a lot of people, what they do, the group that I got to play with that we spent 10 hours a couple weeks ago, they have a Discord channel, and they have like a draft system where it's like, hey, this is the map we're using.
Okay.
When it's your turn to draft, let us know what faction you want to be, where you want to start your starting location, and then we'll go from there. That way, when you get to when we meet up at the house, he has it all set up, and here's where you're at and stuff like that. And so
I love that.
It saves the time. That way, like whenever we meet up, you're not going through all the factions trying to see who you want. You got to do your own little homework and figure out who you want to choose, and then we get to it there. I'll probably, if you want to play online, might do that with you and be like, hey, here's the faction. Here's a wiki of all the factions.
Yeah.
Google who you want to do and let me know who you want, and then we'll set up from there. And we can just go. Tabletop Simulator might be easy for us to set up, but a great game. Like I said, I highly recommend.
That's a pro tip right there.
A big pro tip. Yes.
That's great.
Prepare in advance. If you're really getting ready to play this game. Don't do it the day of, because you're gonna be up there for like an hour just setting up the tiles. Here's all the factions. Everyone, if you're playing with 6 players and you have 6 people going through all the faction list, that's another hour of just everyone trying to go through it. So it's like prepare in advance for sure, and you'll have a great time. And then just don't even think about teardown, because that's another whole battle you have to. That's another big battle you have to do for sure.
All right, final question: is this game top shelf or is it yard sale?
Oh,
don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Oof. Okay. Just for you, Travis, because normally I'd be like, I plug in my podcast episode, go check that out, because we did a top shelf yard sale of the game. Okay. But you're gonna hear here exclusively. Mine, it's a top shelf game. It's a top shelf game. But it's like barely hits the top shelf, because there's a lot of, if you're going by my rubric, it's like it barely scrapes by its teeth of making the top shelf, because there's some question where you're like, it's a no on this one for sure. But it's a top shelf, with the caveat if you're deep into the gaming world. If you're deep into the gaming world, if you've been playing, War of the Ring, if you've been playing Dune Imperium, if you've been playing Wonderlands Wars, and you're like have it down, you have been playing Nemesis, you're playing all these heavy-ended Euros and Ameritrash games, this is a top shelf for you guys. Beginner board gamers, don't even think about this game. don't even bother this game. Move on. Play. Let's level you up first, for sure.
And if you're listening to this podcast and you're wondering what the heck are they talking about, what is top shelf or yard sale, go ahead, pause this episode, go over to Vic's YouTube, Games EMoss podcast. Go give them a follow. Go give them a like. Give them some love, because Vic is always putting out amazing content. And it's not just about board games. If you like video games, if you like theme parks, if you like concessions at theme parks, if you like Universal Studios, go follow Vic, because he puts out some awesome stuff. Super charismatic guy. Vic, we love having you on. go ahead, give a shout to all your socials and where people can find you.
Yeah, for sure. Before I give my socials out, I want your listeners to, if anyone's new listening to this, to give you guys a follow first, because Operation Game Night is the coolest podcast. They were like my number one on my Spotify wrapped, podcast, because I love listening to my boys. They're awesome. They got some great content. They have amazing guests. So if this is your first time, if you happen to just stumble upon this episode from the interwebs and you're like, what is this? Give them a follow, please. Give them a follow. All their socials, Operation Game Night, please. I want to plug you guys in first because this is about you guys, and you guys are amazing. And I'm so blessed that we got to meet and our friendship. And it's just I just love talking with you guys. You guys are one of my top favorite people that I love to chat and watch your content. So Operation Game Night, give them a follow. Before I give you my plugs, give them a follow right now. Like, just give them a follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let them, follow their Instagram, everything. Just give them that. And now, after you've done that, we over here at Games EMoss, you can find us on all socials: X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you like watching YouTube videos, podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can find us there at Games EMoss Pod. That is at Games EMoss Pod. Come over if you like Travis said. If you're into all things pop culture and nerdy, we talk about everything. I love talking about everything. I love talking about board games first. Board games are my top, and video games. They're fighting. They're always fighting for my love. I know for you too, Travis. They're fighting for your love. But I also love Universal Studios. I'm Team Universal, but I also like Disneyland and some of the things that they have going on for there for sure. But again, if you're not a big board gamer or video gamer, but are in love with pop culture, movies, anime, manga, everything, we love covering it as well. And so it'd mean the world to us if you give us a follow. We're growing fast, just like not as fast as Operation Game Night. They're like blowing up. We're catching up. We're catching up to them. But yes, if you guys give us a follow, Games EMoss Pod. That's all socials, everywhere. So,
and if you like stuff like this, we have some exciting collaborations coming up in the near future. So stay tuned on both Operation Game Night and Games EMoss, because we've got some cool stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for shouting us out and giving us so much love. But we do have a special announcement that this next week we actually will be off and doing some recasts. So it's no new episodes next week. We'll be back the following week with all the hot content. But we are going to take a week off. We got some stuff going on behind the scenes. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with us. Go back and listen to those old episodes. Go back to the beginning and listen from episode 1 all the way through to 120 episodes that we're at now. Listen to this episode again. Run it back. Put it on repeat.
Yes.
But thank you for joining us, Vic. Thank you for being a friend of the show. Thank you for supporting Operation Game Night.
Thank you.
For Operation Game Night, I have been Travis. He has been the newly promoted co-host, Vic Diaz from Games EMoss Podcast.
Yeah.
And we are out.